What's up, everybody? Welcome to The Revival. My name is JJ, and as you can see, I'm in my new game room. Okay, so I don't even know where to start with the moving process and like how I had been unable to game very much, and like stuff that I got and like new place and surprises, and I moved, obviously. So I'm in a new place. This is my new place. I'll walk around a bit with the camera, kind of show a little bit off, and you can kind of see, hopefully get somewhat of a feel for what my new game room looks like in my place. I moved because I wanted a bigger place. I think I may have mentioned this a few times when I was still back in my old apartment. But this way I have an entire basement dedicated to all my stuff. Podcasts that Pixel Perspective that I'm doing with Adrian. I'm recording up in my room still because that's just easier to have my computer up there rather than having to move it all the way down here whenever I want to record, because I'd rather have my computer up there. And then my living room is where I've got my current consoles and whatnot. But this is all my older stuff, and pretty much all my games are down here and everything. And it's been interesting. So I moved when I'm recording this. It is like the middle of March, and I finally got all moved in. I made sure I had a bunch of videos lined up so I had stuff to release every week while I was in the moving process. And those of you that follow me on Twitter probably saw the pile of boxes that I posted, the picture. And it took me forever to unpack those and put them all down here and stuff. When I first applied for this place, they had told me, like, because I went for the cheaper route, because they told me that the basement I have wouldn't be finished. There wouldn't be any carpet. There wouldn't be anything down there. It would just be like just a basement, just cement walls, floor, and my hookups for washer and dryer, and basically a storage spot. And I was like, when I saw the size of it, I was like, I could, all I have to do is I can put my own carpeting down, or just get a giant throw rug, or a couple of throw rugs or something like that. And I was kind of running through all these ideas in my head, and the end result sounded great. So I was like, I'll deal with it. I'll make sure that I get the all the logistics of it, and I'll have it done, and it'll be awesome in the end. So I kind of wasn't really thinking too much about the extra stuff that I would have to do until it started getting closer to the move-in date. And once I did finally get my keys, I go in there, and girl was like, I have something to tell you. We gave you a little bit of false info on your place. And I was like, oh crap, what? Like, what, did you show me the wrong model or something? Like, what the hell's going on? Like, this is move-in day. Like, why are you telling me this now? And she was like, apparently the previous renters there put carpet in your basement and painted the walls and everything. So it's it looks really good. I was just there this morning, and I was like, that's awesome! Like, heck yeah! So huge load off my mind. I didn't have to worry about it. It was everything was done and set, and it looks so great. And the only thing it's not that is the ceiling, and I'm honestly not worried about that. It doesn't bother me at all. I've had a few people say, like, oh, it'd be really easy to put something up there and stuff like that. I don't know that I want to mess with it, to be honest with you. I just don't know. Like, that was the last thing on my mind, was the ceiling. It was more just the floor, and then, being able to be down here comfortably, which, with the way it is now, I absolutely am. So I'm like, it couldn't have worked out better. honestly, like, as far as, just because moving sucks. Moving always sucks. Everybody knows that. The only hiccup that I had was they gave me the wrong mailbox key, and it took a little bit to get resolved. So I couldn't really access my mail for a little bit, which was a little annoying, but honestly, if that was the worst things we're going to get, and they eventually did get it resolved, so it's fine now. I'm more than happy, you know, with it and stuff, so I'm thrilled. So this is super great. So yeah, my videos will be here. I don't know if this is necessarily going to be my final setup as far as like angle and everything like that. I kind of just tried to set it up so I could start recording again at least, and that way I could, you know, have some videos going up again and get that back into swing. I may try some other things. This way I've got more room to, you know, when I have people over and maybe want to do like another video with Brian or Cameron or, you know, Mark I talked to you about coming on at some point. You know, somebody just comes here and we hang out and talk. This way I've got more room to do that as well. I also don't need to take down and reset up my camera every single time. I can just kind of leave it in the same general area this time. Same with the table and my chair, and it's just so much better than it was before. It's amazing what a little bit of room can do. So I'm super stoked to you know, finally be in here. Another thing I wanted to do on this video is, as you can see, I've got some stuff here, and I'm still, like, it's been a week since I got this stuff, and I'm still kind of in shock. Like, I look at it, and I'm just like, it's too much, man. So it's, I want to give a big thank you. I had a fan of the show, a guy named Lamont, big shout out, reach out and say, hey, I noticed you were missing some games in your PS4 collection. I've got extra copies of Prey and Guacamelee, which is the collection, which has 1 and 2. And I've never actually played these, but I've heard people like love them, so I'm excited to try them out for sure. And then Prey, Mark, my buddy from TFN, raves about this game like crazy, so I'm definitely excited, and it looks really cool too, so I'm definitely stoked to check that out. So I was like, we talked a little bit and stuff, and I was like, you really don't have to do this, you don't have to send me anything, I'm not, you know, I'm not looking for free stuff or anything like that, whatever. And he's like, no, I really want to and stuff, and we talked a little bit, and eventually I caved, and I was like, alright, sure. So he after he sends it, he says, yeah, I sent you the games and a couple other things. And I'm like, couple other things? Like, what do you mean a couple other things? Like, so he sends me the tracking info. I go online and I track it on UPS's website, and the thing says it weighs 11 pounds. And I'm like, what the hell did he say? Like, 11 pounds? Like, that better not be all games. Like, are you kidding me, man? It's not. I was just like, what the hell could it be? Like, I genuinely had no clue. Because all he had told me was just the 2 games that he had doubles of. So, because, you know, I'm not looking, I don't want anybody to go out of their way to get me anything or anything like that. I was thinking, like, I've got 150, I think 3 subscribers as of this video. I can't imagine what kind of, like, requests and stuff people with, like, millions of subscribers must get. Like, it's gotta be insane. Because this floored me. So he says, you know, we've kind of talked a little bit since then and just, you know, BS'd about games and whatnot and stuff. So the package finally came, and again, because of my mail issue, I had to have him send it to somebody else's house that was nearby so I could actually get it. Which, it turns out, I didn't even need to do that because the package was so big, it wouldn't have fit in the mailbox anyways. So it would have just been, like, dropped on my door. But either way, I did get it, and I'm like, sure enough, like, the thing's heavy. And I open it up, and dude. So there were 3 books inside, like massive books. The first one, the Dark Souls Collector's Edition Strategy Guide. Like, first of all, this thing is beautiful. Like, holy crap. And I love the layout and just the artwork on the inside. And even, I mean, it's a lot of screenshots and stuff, but like, it's just so beautifully done. Like, it's just really, really cool looking. I don't know, hopefully you can see that. But so he was like, you know, because obviously I sent him a message right away after getting this. I was like, it's too much, man. Thank you so much, but good lord, really? And he's like, well, now you have no excuse, because you have every reason in the world to now play Dark Souls, because you've got people who want to play with you, you've got a strategy guide now, you have the game, like, there's no reason not to. So, I'll be playing it soon. I will 100% be playing it soon. And that guide is just absolutely beautiful. Then there was also, by the way, if you follow me on Twitter, you will see, because you notice I'm coughing a little bit. I don't have coronavirus or anything like that. That's when I'm recording this and this is going on. But there was a really bad thing that happened to me at the grocery store, and if you follow me on Twitter, there's a really long thread about what happened to me there. If it happened to anybody else, I would think it's really funny, so I'm sure other people will laugh at it. But I felt terrible. So I have a chronic cough. So when I had pneumonia earlier this year, my cough tends to linger for like a couple of months after that, and it just did not play well in public. So, especially right now. Anyways, so the next thing that was in the box was, I love Dragon Ball so much, and this is an Akira Toriyama Dragon Ball art book. And I mean, this was, when I opened it, this was actually the first thing that I went to. This stuff is just so nostalgic and just so cool to me. Like, I just love this stuff, and I like the new book smell too. So I'm a weird guy. I know. I'm aware of this. But it's just, it's too much, man. It's too much. I genuinely don't know what to say. Like, still, like I said, it's a week later, and I'm still floored, man. Like, thank you. This is so cool. It really, really is. Thank you, for real. So it goes without saying, I highly recommend these things too, because they're just, even in the case of the strategy guide, if you don't use the strategy guide, this thing is so cool to look at and just flip through. I've never even played Dark Souls before, and looking at this just like drew me in and made me want to like really get into it. The only reason I haven't started up is because I've been told it's going to take a while, especially if I'm not used to those kinds of games and I have to kind of figure out the controls, and it'll take a little longer to get into that mode. And Animal Crossing and then Final Fantasy VII Remake is coming out, and I literally want to play both of those day one. So that's the only reason I haven't gotten into this. But rest assured, once I'm done with those, that's going to be on the list. So, the last thing, this is kind of funny, because I had watched, Happy Console Gamer is one of my favorite YouTubers. I love his channel. He had talked about buying a book on the Mana series that was an art book that had just come out, and it looked really neat. And I was like, I'm sitting there, and like, there's a few things that he's shown off and stuff where I was like, oh yeah, I think I'll pick that up, and I've gone and picked it up. And this was one of the times when I saw it and I was like, oh heck yeah. Then I went online and I was looking at it. This was the morning that I got the package, by the way. I was on Amazon and I was looking at it, and I was like, you know what, it just came out. I'll wait for a price drop, because I'm sure eventually it will. I don't need it right this second. I want it, but I don't need it right this second. So I'll just wait for a price drop, and I'll get it at some other point. Get the package that night, and there it was. And like this again, same with the Dragon Ball thing, man. I look at this and it is just really, really cool. Genuinely stunning, beautiful artwork that is I mean, Secret of Mana is one of my favorite games of all time, and just seeing this stuff is just so awesome. So I genuinely, man, thank you so much, for real. I don't know what to say. Lamont, you are You're a fantastic human being, and I sincerely appreciate this. Know that it goes to a good home. I'm just kind of still, like I said, a week later, in shock. And I promise I will continue to make content that hopefully people will enjoy. And because I genuinely, even without this stuff, I genuinely enjoy doing this. So, I appreciate this stuff, but it's 100% not necessary at all. But just know that, like I said, it's going to go to a good home. I love it. And thank you so much for this stuff, for your support, and quite frankly, just talking games with me every now and then, because we've talked a little bit on Twitter. It's been a blast. So hopefully we keep that up as well, because more people I get to talk to about games, the more I get to just express how I feel, hear about how other people feel. I have in the past been like, I don't know if this is how it is with other, I imagine bigger YouTubers, obviously, because there's just so many people to keep track of. I don't know if this is how it is with other people that have channels and stuff. But if you ever want to reach out and just talk to me about games, at least at this point when I have a manageable fan base, like it's super small, I will do everything in my power to respond. I try to respond to everybody. I actually found some comments on my YouTube channel that didn't have responses, that like apparently the notifications thing when I get comments missed it. The only reason I saw it was I went back and said, comments you didn't respond to, and I was like, what's this? I'd never seen it before. And there were a handful in there that were like a month old that I was like, oh my god, and I felt terrible, and I immediately threw in responses to them because I felt so bad. And that includes like private messaging on Twitter or something like that. Anything. You want to talk to me? I love talking games, man. I 100% like, just, let's do it. Let's talk Secret of Mana. Let's talk Final Fantasy. Let's talk Dark Souls. Like, tell me how frustrated I'm gonna get and how terrible I'm gonna be at the game. Whatever. I'm just so thankful to have people who, really are into this stuff and everything. Because growing up, partly because of my own fault, I didn't have that, as far as, a close circle of friends that were into the same things until I started putting myself out there. And I'm so thankful that I started to, because now I've got, so many people that do, that I am able to talk to about this stuff. So, I've kind of rambled on for long enough, but, so I just wanted to say welcome, and, thank you, Lamont. Seriously, this is more than generous, and I genuinely, as much as I ramble, I'm at a loss for words every time I look at this stuff. So seriously, thank you so much. And I promise I will continue to make videos as long as I can. Other than that, we'll keep making videos, and got some more stuff coming out soon. Final Fantasy VII Remake is coming out pretty soon, and Pixel's Perspective, we just recorded a new episode that is all Final Fantasy VII focused, so you'll see that, I believe, the first week of April. So look for that to drop as well. Literally, we just gushed for like over an hour about, I think it's like an hour and a half about Final Fantasy VII. Yeah, thank you to everybody, and especially Lamont. With that, I don't even know how to close this video. I don't know what to say. With that, thank you so much for watching. Hit that like button, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Reach out to me, talk to me about games, because I love it. And as always, keep on gaming.